Right. Um, so I just made like a very small project in JavaScript. Let me show you a thing. So first I'm gonna open my workspace. Right. And it's already open because I opened it last time. This is our HTML. You have the usual HTML tags. You have some styling. Maybe I should not have done that because just for one element, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's move on. You have a heading, calculator. Of course, it's a calculator. Then break. Then so everything is in a table, right? Okay. The first thing is the place where we'll be putting our numbers. So, like, yeah, like an input field basically, which will show what operation we are doing and what's the result, of course. So you have first number, second number, an operation, the equal sign, of course, and then the result. There's of course the JavaScript code to calculate the result based on what operation we are doing. Okay, then in the next table, okay, I think this was the end of this table, right? Okay, in the next table, so I have assigned it an ID because I'll be creating more buttons in this table. Right, so the thing that I already did in HTML itself is that I added these 4 buttons. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right? Buttons for these, right? And then enter the table, and this is in a row, of course. So we will have like multiple rows. Every row will contain 4 buttons, right? Like that. Okay. Then there's this extra button which is switch. So this will switch between the two input fields, right? So the 2 input elements, it will switch between those. And originally I tried to have the type of this input as being numbers only, but then I realized that okay, like some weird stuff is going to happen because like it doesn't allow decimal places like randomly. It only allows certain what can I say, steps. So okay, I'm not gonna explain that because we're not dealing with that type of input anyway. Okay, so we'll be dealing with text, right? Okay. Okay, so that's done. Next we have this switch button, then of course our script. So yeah, demo2.js. So I already made like demo1, just some random stuff anyway. Let's open demo2.js. Okay, so first we are getting these 2 objects, num1 and num2, which are our input elements. Okay, then this in things like in for input. This is a variable which will keep on switching between num1 and num2 based on like where we want to put our text. Okay, then capital L is the label which will contain our operator, right? I mean, it will show what operation we are doing. Okay, then res, that's our result. So result is the last input, which is having id r. Then I made these functions add, subtract, multiply. Okay, I just show you what the first function is like. So the text of our label, we want to change that whenever we click the button. So we'll change it to addition, right? Then n1 is equal to this number function. So the number function basically takes in a string or any kind of thing, right? Booleans or whatever. It throws out a number. I don't know the inner workings of this stuff, but yeah, I mean, this is gonna give you a number anyway. So this gives whatever we'll type in our input, it will basically convert that string into a number, if it is a number, that is. Okay, so this is number of num1 dot value. So num1 dot value is the string, right? Similarly for n2, then just add these and then convert to string. I think I should say to fixed 4. Okay, so to string converts to a string, of course, but to fixed, this thing also converts to string, except it's like specifically for floating point numbers, right? So the problem that I had is that when we have decimal numbers like floating point numbers, so like 2.3 or whatever, right? Sometimes it happens that those numbers are not representable in binary without like repeating patterns. So you know how like 1.3 is 0.3 recurring, it's not going to terminate anywhere. Similarly, sometimes in binary numbers which are very well represented in decimal, those won't be represented very well, so they will be recurring, right? And that's why I'll be using this thing. So dot to fix this rounds up the number and then converts to string. Rounds up or rounds anyway, like it just rounds to the nearest decimal. Okay, I mean, okay, actually we specify what decimal place we have to round up or down or whatever to, right? Okay, and then this will give us the actual value that it should be, right? And not some garbage stuff. Anyway, so n1 plus n2 dot to fixed, and this is still the 4th decimal. Okay, so if I like type in a number with which is having 5 decimal, so in my input, and then I do some kind of operation on that 2 numbers with 5 decimal places, so I do operations on those things, then it will still give me just 4 decimal places, although the answer might contain 5 decimal places or more, right? Yeah, sometimes you have to make some sacrifices on the functionality so that it at least functions, right? Okay, right, so just changing the value of our res input thing, right? So our result, that input box, anyway, that's gonna change that value. Okay, then just copy paste this. So subtraction, multiplication, division, till now no big deal, right? And of course in those input fields you can like type in the what do you call it, you can type in the string manually, right? Just click on the input and then you can type it, and yeah, I mean practically that's all you need. But I wanted like a proper calculator and not something where you have to like open your keyboard, right? So in Android it would be like your keyboard comes up, then you have to type, and then it goes down, and then the next input, and then you have to do the operation based like through these numbers. I don't want all of that. I want it to take input from buttons which I'll have in my web app. Okay, then you have all these operations, right? Buttons for those. Then you have this thing, so butts is equal to document dot get element by id butts. So this thing is of course this table that has id butts. So we'll use this later. Okay, so it's gonna contain all the character buttons and also the backspace button, right? And butt row is equal to butts. I mean, I'm setting that for now. We'll change it. I just wanted to say that we have a variable butt row which is having global scope. Anyway, next we define this function button, which takes in this c thing, which is a character. It's supposed to be a character or string, right? Because backspace is not a character. So like, yeah, it's gonna take a string or a character or whatever. Okay, so we define this variable but, the small but, okay, that's equal to document dot create element button, right? So it creates a new button. Of course, that's what the function should do, right? Button, yeah. Okay, I mean, I thought I would do this with constructors and whatnot, but then I thought, like, why not just use functions? Why even go to classes and everything like that? Okay, then it creates this td thing, which is like the table input. So this td, yeah, table data, that's what we call it, right? Table data, I don't know. Okay, then butt row dot append child td. So right, so butt row, that will actually change when we'll run this function. So butt row will be actually a row, it won't be the table, but yeah, so it will just append this td element to whatever butt row is at that point when we call this function. Then td dot append child butt, so it appends the button to our td element. Okay, then we change the text of the button to, of course, whatever the character was or the string was. Then butt dot on click is equal to this function. So that's like a way of defining what should happen when you click on the button, right? There are like many ways to do it. You could just define this function, some function that you want to run, and then in this HTML you can actually say that the on click attribute, that's equal to, in as a string, the name of the function with the parentheses as well, right? So just as I did for the addition, and where did that go? Yeah, so like this, equal to in string add parentheses, and of course VS Code is highlighting it because it's smart. Anyway, what was I doing? All right, but dot on click is equal to this function which we are defining at the place itself. So yeah, just ignore all of this if thing. What we want to look at is this thing. So in dot value is plus equal to C. So whatever is the value of our in thing, which would be one of the two inputs, we just want to add our character C to it, right? Then you also want to change the text of our result and our label. So our result will just empty the whole thing, because now of course it's gonna change, right? Once you change the inputs, right? Okay, and we'll also change the operation. So we will say that, okay, we don't know what operation you're doing because you're just typing in, so we'll wait for you to put in the operation. So we'll just, you know, put this capital O thing, right? Okay, and now let's come to this if thing. So if C is equal to back, then what we want to do is in dot value is equal to in dot value dot slice 0 minus 1. So it just removes the last character from our in dot value string, right? So yeah, the slice 0 comma minus 1 removes the last character from a string and then gives the thing, right? So it returns that new string, and that's what we're doing. Okay, so if that happens, if it's back, then good, we just want to do this. Else we want to do this, right? That's what we should be doing, right? That's the main thing. The backspace is, you know, an additional feature. Anyway, so yeah, this was our on click function. Okay, that's done. So that's our button function, right? We'll be calling it many times. Okay, so we'll call it inside of this function which is but row. So it creates a row of buttons, and it's going to take in an array of strings or characters. So right now I'm just putting its characters because I think it's supposed to be characters, but yeah, like the backspace is of course a string. Anyway, like that's an exception. Okay, so but row is you know, a table row, right? So we just create a table row, then we append this but row thing to our buts, which was the table, right? The table which contains all the buttons. Okay, then we run this for loop. So for starts at I equal to 0, I less than characters dot chars whatever dot length I plus plus. So yeah, all of the things in this chars array, it will, you know, it will run this function on it, like button of the element in the array, right? Yeah, I mean, this is pretty trivial. Okay, then yeah, this I had to type in manually because I didn't want to write more code for this. Why go for loops and whatnot if you just want to do like 4 elements? Why, right? So but row 0 1 2 4. So first we are creating a row of buttons which have these things on them, right? So these are our characters like 0 1 2 and 3. Then this is 4 5 6 7, then 8 9 dot, so the decimal point, that's also character that we want. And back. So yeah, this is not a character, this is a string, and we know it's gonna run this thing actually. So this won't work the usual way. It's gonna run this instead. So yeah, that's an exception. Anyway, so now we have like our keypad, and next you have this function. So the switch button that I told you about, right? It's for that. It's recording, right? Yeah, it's recording. Okay, so that's for the switch button. So we have this thing in dot style dot background. So it basically like changes the color of you know, of our input boxes. So whichever one you are typing in, that will be greenish thing, whatever that color was. So I don't even remember what was the name of this color, but I searched online for some nice colors and then searched for the RGBA codes, and yeah, I got this. Okay, so first, you know, whatever our in was, oh, and of course, like you have to change the in itself. Where did I write that code? I must have written that somewhere. I think the change wait, it must be somewhere, right? So why am I calling 2 times this as, oh right, so this is the thing, of course this is the thing. So we are changing in this function itself, right? So before this I actually had a different code, so whenever I would click on the input, it would change the thing, but that's not what we want, right? We don't want our, you know, the keyboard on our Android to come up. We don't want that. We want to do it from the app itself. I'm saying it's like app, it's just a single page, but whatever. Okay, so you have in.style.background color is equal to this. Yeah, I mean that's just the color. So whatever is in right now, which right now is just num1, so it starts off at num1. So you know, if you didn't switch, right, if you're doing nothing, and then just, you know, yeah, so what was I gonna say, right? So at first what it will do is it will just take this background color into num1, right? So if your in was num1, then it will just color it with this. Then we will change it. So if it is num1, we'll change to num2. If it's num2, we'll change to num1. And then we'll color our in, which is now the other input, right? So the input we changed to with this color. So this is like a reddish pinkish kind of color, right? And we are calling this function 2 times. So initially, if you don't call it, our inputs will be white, right? That's what the default thing is. And now I'm calling it 2 times. So first it changed to num2, right? And it got colored, so that's nice. But we don't want num2, we will change to num1 once again, right? So that's good. Let's run this. So Control S and let's run the HTML. So I'm running in Chrome, of course, because I like Chrome, right? So that's our calculator. Nice. Let's try it out. So you know, like 0.55555. Let's switch, then 1.67. Let's add that, subtract that, multiply that, and division probably is, oh, so somehow it worked nicely. Oh right, because we are rounding to 4th decimal. I thought it would give like a string of these numbers and whatever. Awesome. So yeah, I should probably, you know, resize these boxes to just 4 decimals or something like that, but no, I mean you could have many numbers before the decimals, right? Let's just leave it like that, actually not resize or anything, right? Okay, so we have made our web page thing, whatever. What we want to do is, now we want to upload this on the net so that we can use it whenever we want to. And to do that, I'm using Netlify. So I in fact even have this thing. So it's not an app, what you have to do is just go on Chrome and open it as a window, right? Yeah, you can search how to do that, but this is the same thing as if you just, you know, type it Netlify, login, and then on Chrome you'll get the link. I mean, yeah, just log in. I'm gonna open it from here, right? So you know, now let's show you the thing. I don't know why these names are so, I mean, random, but hey, whatever. Okay, let's do it. This is our link, and here we have it, our calculator, and now it's online. So you know, you can also do it in Android or whatever. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna show you how to do that. Connect my Samsung Note 9 to it, right? Yeah, whatever, allow, I don't care. Fine. Now let's run this thing. So it's screen copy. Taking some time. Yeah. Oh come on, how much time is it gonna take? It's connected, right? Oh yeah, now it's on. Okay, so let's go to Google. Let's say Netlify login. Ha, you thought I'm gonna show you my passwords, really? But actually, yeah, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna say anything on it. Okay, so sites, of course. This is the site that we want. guess. Wait, where's the link? Okay, this is the link. Fine. So yeah, it's like smaller than what it should have been. It should be like this till here. I guess I can resize it, right? Anyway, just a bit of CSS that I have to write. Yeah, but it works. It works. That's the main thing. The JavaScript works at least. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it out. We'll just say 1 to 3.6. Oh, come on, why is it doing this? Okay, whenever I double tap, it goes up. Okay. Okay. With patience, so that we don't double tap. Then let's switch that. So you see the colors change, everything. So 0, 2.4. I don't know. I'm just gonna type random stuff. Then let's say addition gives us this thing. So like this 1 point, right? I don't know why this is there. I mean, it should not be there, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So when I changed the to fixed on our addition thing, right? I had uploaded the whole yeah, and uploaded the whole project before that. So for addition it won't work. Like for subtraction it works, right? You only get 4 decimal places. Similarly for multiplication it works, and for division you would expect it to be like a very long thing, right? But no, just 4 decimal places. That's what we get. So yeah, I'm gonna upload it once again, because for addition you have, I mean, I've changed it to the correct thing now. Anyway, so yeah, that's my first project for JavaScript after a long time. I had made one really nice project before this, so you know, where did that go? Right, so I had of course made this one, which is like the best thing I've made in JavaScript till now. And it doesn't run on Android, okay, because it relies on click events and everything. But yeah, okay, actually if I run this using SCR, okay, does this work? Oh yeah, okay, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, you already know about this, right? Anyway, that's how you make things like these and then upload those. So there's of course this problem that, oh shit, I think I shared links with you, right? So now it's gonna be right. Okay, we will have to change the link as well. That's problematic. I shouldn't have shared links, because they have a restriction. They cannot have many people searching for this and then using this, because you know, like their rules and stuff, right? Okay, I'm gonna change every link because now you guys are yeah, now you guys know what this link is. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.